just keep driving really fast and we just keep passing cows. Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. Is it true? Has my wife Svetlana brought me to a Russian robot farm?
Alright. Showed us everything.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to.
All right, you and I can talk some too.
Absolutely. She's being fed on a regular basis.
It's a what? Robot farming.
American robots, and he's going to say something not so positive.
It's in Britain.
Английский, да. No, sorry, not American.
But it's
British. It's even worse for you.
It's a milk farm.
Milk and cookies.
Где мы были вместе с вами сегодня в кинотеатре.
They're working to have these roads paved within a year and a half. The farm roads, that is. Of course, the roads in the city are already paved. Cows, cows, cows everywhere.
Here we are at Patugina LLC farm, milk farm specialized. And here we have, do you recognize this fine gentleman?
Yeah.
Joe Rose. What are you doing here, Joe?
Я русский дядя. Что ты делаешь?
we just
I'm
met by
here
accident.
with Dmitry Balkovsky. We're looking at farms in Russia.
Yes, indeed.
Do you want to open a farm in Russia?
Of course you do. Of course you do. So yeah, we're going to take a look at this beautiful enterprise, very modern. And you can see all the equipment here. This whole range of agricultural machinery. Those of you who are farmers would know what these things do. Some very nice tractors and everything.
What do the tractors do, Balkovsky?
They tract.
So, Russia's a cold place, right?
Relatively, actually. I am talking.
You know what I'm getting at, right?
Meaning you want to.
No, would you want to farm here? I mean, because it's
absolutely.
so cold.
Well, I can tell you that in Canada, in the south of Canada, on the same latitude as Sochi, winters are colder than those in Moscow. Believe it or not, yes. So Russia is not that cold. It's a bit of a stereotype, really, unfair to us.
So a farmer would get how many months of farmable land? Is it even measured that way, or is that a stupid question?
No. It's measured that way from the end of April to mid-October, something like that, depending on the region, really.
Uh-huh.
But here in Kaluga, yeah, it would be at least half a year, you know, maybe a little more. You can stretch it, so, yeah. And water is abundant, plenty of water. You don't have to irrigate, no need. Feed for the cattle is, you know, grows everywhere.
I smell something, and I don't think it's elephants. Hello to all the viewers from Russia, Europe, and the United States. I've been using Synthesit for a long time, and I recommend that you check out the video interviews with people who have used Synthesit to restore their health and vitality. Over the past 3 years, consumers have given about 400 interviews. And if you go to Synthesit's YouTube channel, you can find playlists in English, German, and Russian to see these interesting interviews. Perhaps among these interviews, you will find cases that will help you solve your health problems and regain vitality. I will be glad if my information helps you live better, feel better, and be healthy. Be sure to check out these unique video materials, which include interviews with famous athletes, doctors, and ordinary people. These are very interesting stories of real people. What mistakes do people make? What do they regret? What are they proud of? What difficult situations do they face, and how do they cope with them? All the links are in the description of this video.
We are inside the cowshed. It does smell a little. That's cattle feed. And let me introduce, using the chance, Alexei Koshelov, he's the head of the district. Very progressive.
A man in a suit smelling dirt.
Yes, dynamic leader.
This is Eddie. He's a French specialist, so he's from France. He had a lot of experience, and he's helping Russian farms to be restored and to function better, because France is very, farming-oriented country.
Well-fed and well-kept animals, healthy, good-looking.
So Balkovsky was just educating me. Let's see if I got it right. As a foreigner, if you're a farmer and you want to come to Russia to farm, you may lease the land, and if that goes well for you and you're enjoying it, and you one day become a citizen of Russia, you may then want to buy your own land that you would farm on. But in case you're thinking about moving to Russia to farm, and you're a farmer, you cannot technically buy the land when you move here. You would be leasing it and working it and seeing how it goes.
She's trying to tell me something.
I came in Russia 16 years ago.
Oh my lord. So you're enjoying your time, I suppose, since you are here for 16 years.
Yes.
You're probably liking it. These are fresh calves. Newly born, quite fresh.
3-5
months.
Yes. The plan of the farm is for 250 dairy cow. It's called, but now we have only 70. We have the new owner here in the farm. The problem was the feed of the cow, the immunity, and also the dry period. We have only 21 liters for all this cow, but the new dairy cow after a dry period, now they give 30-35 liters and more. But it's just a time problem. The genetic have the potential to give more milk.
Привет! Markovka? Is it Markovka? No, it's Korova. Korova, да?
Корова, yes. Морковка is carrot.
Это состояние животных.
Может быть, корова кушает морковка?
This is Irina. She is in charge of animals. She's a zoo technician, animal technician, and she is saying that you can tell that this cow is well fed because there is like a little pit above her hind leg, and it's filled out. So you can tell that it is a happy cow.
My job here was to start a big complex farm for 5,000 sow in the Yuga of Russia. And then after I start another company with more than 50,000 sow and feed meals and everything we have to do in the farm. My
Right.
work is to teach, to train staff. Since 2 years now and more, I have opened a company in Russia with I give a consultation for feeding and for management dairy cow and goat farm. I have a rabbit farm customer also. Pig farm. They ask me how did the farm, and I help them to resolve a problem we have in the farm. Usually it's problem of feed, 40-42 kilograms.
Okay.
And before the weight was 32-35. Here it's a very little farm in Russia. Usually I work with a farm with more than 4,000 dairy cow in the farm.
How do you measure the size of this farm?
The size is for a farmer, for a family farmer with 1,000 hectares and 250 dairy cow. It's a very little farm, but it's enough in Russia to have a good result and finance.
Financial results.
Level to work on.
A good level of life, the cost of life.
What do you consider a normal size farm?
To get help from administration in general, less than 500, 600 dairy cow, you don't have enough help by the region.
That's a scratching mechanism for cows. How many hectares per cow, rather, do you need to have to be able to feed them?
It's been one hectare or one dairy cow.
Ah, okay.
In general, it's no plus minus. It depends on the region where you have a farm. But here in this area, we have a good climate condition for corn, for example, and for grasses. That is, this region is the best for dairy cow. In the youth of Russia, it's more grain.
Right.
And it's more poultry or pigs farm. With the sanction now, we have also a lot of goat farm because we don't have more cheese in Russia. And the people ask for that because they want camembert, brie,
Yes.
Mazdam.
What's the word for not moss?
Нет. In the shower, if you don't clean it,
Mold.
Yeah.
Why would a person
Moldy
who's
cheeses.
farming in Europe want to farm in Russia?
Why do Europeans move to farm to Russia?
Or the first in Europe or in France, if you want to work in the farm, you don't have this possibility, and the price, everything is more expensive. You have a European norm, for example. You have a lot of things. Was blocked the farm to open. Now in France, for example, if you want to open this 250 dairy cow, nobody gives you to do it.
So you have more regulatory freedom in Russia, more regulatory freedom than in France, let's say, or Germany.
Here they need a farmer. In Europe, we see that we don't want more.
So there's also a demand.
I think yes.
Russia needs farmers.
Yeah, Russia needs farmers.
What are the big things that a person might farm here? What are the good things to farm here? Chickens, cows, corn. What is it? Wine. What do you?
The best now is only start in the market. It's goat farm, sheep farm for cheese also. We have only a little market for that. The rabbits in Russia, it's not so important part of the market, and the people here usually eat pigs and poultry and milk and on the products from milk.
But you think goat farming is a good business to get into in Russia?
Yes.
What's good as far as fruits or vegetables? Do you know?
Apple in the youth of Russia.
Apples.
Apple.
There are some like really niche things like hops, for example, which Russia, the stuff needed for making beer, which Russia imports like 90% of. This green plant.
Hops farming might be a good thing to get into.
I know that they're doing a project in Voronezh for it, like a big one, or in Rostov somewhere. Yeah. So a lot of niches that are not covered still. Yeah, a lot. Besides like dairy and meat. What's the breed of cow? What's the? Is it? Holstein. Holstein.
Я думаю, у них задача вообще на 10 тонн будет, правильно?
A little smelly, but hey, these are cows.
What I'm getting from being here at this farm is that it's a smaller farm, and the word on the street is goat farming is the farming that you might want to go into if you're considering being a farmer or becoming a farmer over here. Apparently that is the industry that is small and is going to boom. And in case I didn't say it yet, we are about 2 hours from Moscow, at least by train. Did you learn what the benefits are to farming here as opposed to America and Europe?
Well, the benefit of farming in Russia, not even in all the parts of Russia. For instance, south is kind of almost all the niches are full. but there are some areas in the central Russia, let's say, where the land is still very cheap, and it's a lot of land. So you can buy it for really cheap, a lot of acres of land, and electricity is cheap. So, and this is the best, that's the main benefit of starting a farm in the area like this one.
What about weather?
So for the cattle, it's mostly like it's during the year, because I was shocked. I've learned today that actually the animals, they adjusted to the climate, to the weather. Even if they buy them from, like, let's say Germany or Australia or other countries, we have some local ones. Another benefit is that Russian market is still not full, so we still have a demand in producing more and more agricultural cultures and milk and like anything like the cottage cheese and cheese. So it's still not full, the market of Russia.
All right, so what's the rumor about robots on this farm?
The robot now is closed. They don't work as other farm in Russia. A lot of close the robot because the fabricant, the producer of the robot refuse now to work with Russia, and they don't give equipment to repair it.
Okay. So it was a robot farm, and now they're broken.
Yes,
but you want to use robots in the future?
That's why now all the people in Russia don't want to continue to work with this producer, because they know now that they have the risk to stop to work. On the day for the dairy co, it's I think that it's a very very bad thing to do that.
So should Russia stop using robots, or should they develop their own robot technology?
Yes,
or?
I have listened something about Russian robot and with China robot.
So what do the robots do?
Milking the cows.
If it's a pumping machine, why call it a robot? What's the difference between a machine and a robot? I know it's a stupid question, but
The machine cannot see, cannot see everything. For example, if you have some problem with the health of dairy co, it's other work.
So a robot is a machine that can kind of think on its own and make
programmed.
adjustments.
Some problem with the legs, for example, he cannot see a lot of things. And in general, the people think that if they buy a robot, they will stop to work in the farm. It's not that at all. If you before robot worked 1 hour to take milk of dairy co, with robot you will use 1 hour for other job. You will have to go inside to work with dairy co in order to see the problem.
Dmitry Balkovsky here from RUSSIAMOVE. I'll put the links in this video. He specializes in helping immigrants who are farmers. So he knows stuff that I do not know.
A little bit of this and that. And Joe and Svetlana, they're in the same business.
I'm hiding from the rain. What do you think? Leave a comment, click like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, interrupt my speech and send it to your friends. Go subscribe to this guy's channel and click the box to see what happens next. Cows as far as the eye can see. Driving at top speed, it's just cows, cows, cows.
How many cars do you have, and what exactly you're trying to do?
Wait, how many what do they have?
Cows.
Cows. Okay, okay.